He was a pathetic, ugly loser, but one day, his crush asked him out only because she wanted his help hooking up with his best friend. Then, his childhood friends asked him the same thing. So, he decided to take revenge by rizzing up the hottest girl in school, and now they all want his you-know-what. Joro begins his second year of high school, hoping life might finally get better. On the very first morning, Himawari is already stuck to him like usual. She is his childhood friend, and she acts super comfortable around him. When they reach class, Taiyo greets them with his normal loud, friendly energy. He jokes that Joro and Himawari are still always together, and says he is glad they will all be in the same place again this year. Before Joro can leave for student council work, Cosmos suddenly appears in the classroom. She is the student council president, and everyone notices her right away because she is beautiful and popular. She says she came to pick up her precious secretary, Joro. Taiyo immediately starts teasing him, and even Himawari looks annoyed after seeing how close Cosmos seems with him. Later, after student council duties are over, Cosmos catches Joro off guard by asking him to spend Saturday with her. He is shocked, but there is no way he is going to refuse. To him, this feels like a miracle. That same night, Himawari messages him and asks him to hang out on Saturday too. Since he already made plans with Cosmos, he asks Himawari to meet on Sunday instead, and she agrees. When Saturday arrives, Joro is full of excitement. Cosmos shows up looking amazing, and the whole day feels perfect. They go out together, visit places, and enjoy a peaceful time like a real date. Joro starts believing that maybe his love life is finally about to begin. Then, near the end of the day, Cosmos asks him to sit with her. She turns serious and starts talking about love, saying that just thinking about the person you like can make your heart race. Joro thinks she is about to confess to him. But instead, Cosmos says she is in love with Taiyo. That one sentence destroys all of Joro's hopes. Cosmos reveals that her feelings started after the last baseball tournament. Taiyo had comforted everyone after the loss, but later he cried alone where he thought nobody could see him. Seeing that emotional side of him made her fall for him. Then she asks Joro to help her get closer to Taiyo because he is Taiyo's best friend. Even though Joro feels crushed, he still agrees. The next day, Joro meets Himawari, but his mood is terrible after what happened with Cosmos. Himawari notices something is wrong and tries to cheer him up in her usual playful way. Their outing is fun for a while. They eat together, walk around, and relax. But near the end, she also asks him to sit with her and suddenly gets nervous. Joro already knows where this is going, and he is right. Himawari says she likes Taiyo too. She says her feelings also began during that same baseball game. She saw Taiyo crying after the loss, and that moment stayed with her. Then she asks Joro for the exact same thing Cosmos asked for, help getting closer to Taiyo. Now Joro feels completely defeated. Two girls he might have wanted to date both like the same guy, and both of them want him to support them. Still, he says yes again. That night, Joro stops pretending everything is fine. He is angry. He had been trying to act nice and dependable, hoping for a normal romantic high school life, but everything keeps turning into Taiyo this and Taiyo that. Then he gets a selfish little idea. Since both girls want the same person, one of them will probably lose. If he helps both of them now, maybe later he can be there for the one who gets rejected. At school, Joro starts looking at things differently. Himawari's cheerful behavior begins to irritate him, and Cosmos no longer seems special either. In his mind, both of them are using him because he is useful. Even so, he decides to help them both while claiming he is staying neutral. He tries setting up chances for Himawari and Taiyo to talk, and he also makes plans to help Cosmos get closer to him. The problem is that both girls get awkward when it matters most, so Joro keeps having to save the situation. He is doing all the work while they depend on him for every step. Tired of it all, he heads to the library. That is when Pansy enters the story properly. Pansy is the strange library girl. She talks in a creepy, calm way that makes Joro uncomfortable. When he tries to avoid her, she reveals something shocking. She knows everything. She knows about Cosmos, Himawari, Taiyo, and Joro's role in all of this. When Joro asks how she knows, she casually says she has been watching him. Then she surprises him even more. She asks him to sit her with on beach. Joro can feel what's about to happen. She says she likes him. Joro is caught off guard because he expected her to say she liked Taiyo like everyone else. Instead, Pansy says she is interested in the real Joro, not the fake polite version he shows people. She likes the honest, darker side of him. She does not ask him to date her, though. All she wants is for him to spend lunch with her in the library every day. Joro agrees, mostly because she threatens to expose his secrets if he refuses. So now Joro is stuck spending lunch with Pansy while also helping Himawari and Cosmos. Himawari wants to watch a movie with Teo but is too shy to invite him herself, so Joro arranges it. Cosmos wants to eat lunch with Teo, so once again Joro helps create the chance. But while all this is happening, Pansy points out something important. Joro is so busy helping everyone chase Teo that he never asked the most basic question: who does Teo like? So, Joro finally asks him. Teo gets embarrassed and asks to talk in private. During that conversation, he reveals that the girl he likes is Pansy. He says his feelings started after the baseball tournament, when she encouraged him after the loss. Then he asks Joro to help him too. That makes the situation even messier. Joro is already helping Cosmos and Himawari go after Teo, and now Teo wants help chasing Pansy. In the end, Joro decides to support Teo. So he talks to Pansy and asks how she feels about Teo. Pansy understands right away what he is trying to do, and she rejects the idea immediately. She says clearly that she does not like Teo. The person she likes is Joro. Joro keeps trying to push Teo's feelings anyway, and that hurts her. All she wanted was time with him, but he is trying to hand her off to somebody else. Then Teo appears and catches them together. Since Joro told him before that he was not close to Pansy, the scene looks suspicious. Pansy quickly lies to protect Joro and says they were only discussing library matters. Later, she tells Joro to stay away from the library for a while. Not long after that, everything starts getting worse. Cosmos learns that Teo likes Pansy and gets upset because Joro already knew. Himawari finds out too and reacts the same way. Both girls feel like Joro kept the truth from them. They get hurt, angry, and stop trusting him. Then Pansy tells Joro to come to the library again. When he arrives, she explains that things have changed. Cosmos and Himawari have now given up on chasing Teo for themselves. Instead, they have decided to help Teo get closer to Pansy. Right after that, Cosmos, Himawari, and Teo all walk in together. They confront Joro and accuse him of lying and using people. Cosmos says she thought he was respectable. Himawari says she trusted him as a friend. None of them stop to admit that they were the ones who kept asking him to solve their problems. That is when Joro finally snaps. He tells them exactly what he thinks. He says all of them wanted the easy way out. They expected him to do the awkward, messy work while they stayed safe. Then when everything blew up, they blamed him for all of it. He says they never truly cared about him. They only treated him like a bridge that could lead them to Teo. For a second, it seems like Joro has finally spoken the truth. But then, Pansy asks one question that changes the whole mood. If Joro was really helping Cosmos and Himawari get with Teo, then why was he also trying to make Pansy accept Teo? That question makes everyone suspicious again. Suddenly, it looks like Joro was playing all sides at once. Before he can properly explain himself, Teo punches him and drags him out, saying he does not deserve to be around any of them. As Joro is being thrown out, Pansy quietly tells him to trust her. After that, Joro's school life becomes miserable. Rumors spread fast, and people start seeing him as some manipulative liar. His shoes get messed up, he is shut out of student council, and even his usual lunch spot becomes a joke. It feels like the whole school has turned against him. Then Pansy sends him another message and tells him to come to the library during lunch. When he gets there, she tells him to hide in the back. While he is waiting there, Teo walks in. Teo thinks Pansy has finally called him there for a good reason. Instead, she exposes him. Pansy reveals that Teo had already understood for a long time that Cosmos and Himawari liked him. Rather than dealing with their feelings honestly, he used them. He let the situation get worse so Joro would take the blame. She says Teo manipulated the whole thing because he was jealous. Teo finally admits it. He says this is not the first time he felt like he lost to Joro. In the past, there was another girl he liked, but she chose Joro instead. That bitterness never disappeared. So when he realized Pansy liked Joro too, he could not stand it. He decided to hurt Joro by wrecking his friendships and making him look like the villain. Then Pansy explains why she fell for Joro in the first place. It was not because he was cool or popular. It happened after the baseball loss. While other people laughed at Teo, Joro quietly waited for him with his favorite food. That small act showed how loyal and kind he really was. That was the moment she started liking him. Joro is shocked because he barely even remembers her being there. Only thing he remembers is seeing a hot girl. Even after all of that, Teo still tries to force things. He gets desperate and tries to move on Pansy, thinking nobody else is around. But Pansy stays calm because she knows Joro is still nearby. Then Joro steps out and faces him. Joro tells Teo that no matter how angry he was, he had no right to drag Cosmos and Himawari into his revenge. Their feelings were real, and using them like that was wrong. He tells Teo to apologize to both of them. Teo agrees. Then Teo asks what Joro is going to do about all the rumors and damage to his name. Joro says he will deal with the consequences of his own choices. Hearing that makes Teo realize that he has lost again, this time because Joro turned out to be the better person. After Teo leaves, Pansy apologizes to Joro for cornering him earlier and putting him through so much. She tells him she still loves him, but Joro, worn out by everything, walks away and says he will not come back. Then, after he leaves, Pansy calls out softly. Cosmos and Himawari step out from hiding. They had heard the truth the entire time. The following day, Joro walks into school already expecting trouble. After everything that happened, he is ready for more dirty looks, rumors, and people messing with his stuff. But the first thing he notices is unexpected. Cosmos is standing near his shoe locker, protecting it. She apologizes to him, and when Joro checks inside, his shoes are completely fine. When he reaches the classroom, he sees Himawari doing the same thing at his desk. She is making sure nobody touches it or ruins it again. For the first time in a while, Joro sees that the people around him are trying to make things right. Later, Teo stands in front of the class and tells everyone the truth. He admits that he caused the misunderstanding and apologizes for what he did. Because of that, the rumors around Joro finally start to fade. Afterward, Joro visits Pansy and tells her how things went. Pansy listens with a smile and then asks whether he ever thought about why Teo liked her. Joro has no answer. Then, Pansy suddenly changes her look and reveals her real appearance. Joro freezes because she is the same beautiful girl he saw at the baseball tournament, the one he never forgot. Pansy asks if he will keep coming to the library. Joro gets flustered and agrees. Before he leaves, she kisses him lightly on the cheek and says it is a reward for being kind. Joro is shocked, but even after seeing her true look, he still remembers how scary and sharp her personality can be. Now that his name is cleared, Joro keeps going to the library like Pansy asked. One day, he asks about getting another reward. Pansy acts dramatic, like she is about to give him something special, but instead, she teases him in a strange, bossy way. Joro is disappointed because he expected something more normal and sweet. Then Pansy stops joking. She tells him that she hides her real self for personal reasons. She also points out something important. Joro has been using the library as a hiding place. He comes there to avoid everyone else, not because he has truly fixed things with Teo, Himawari, or Cosmos. Joro does not know how to talk to them without making everything awkward again. Pansy tells him that the answer is simple. He should just be honest. Things are already uncomfortable, so a little more awkwardness will not destroy anything. She reminds him that having friends is still better than being alone. Joro understands that Pansy is speaking from experience. Before leaving, he eats the cake she made for him. Pansy asks if it was good, and Joro tells her that now he has another reason to come back. That makes Pansy secretly happy. Later, Joro tries to apologize properly in class, but Asunaro from the journalism club interrupts him. She is always hunting for gossip, and now she is focused on the upcoming flower festival. The festival has a famous dance where one boy dances with 3 partners. There is also a rumor that the boy will eventually end up with one of them. Asunaro wants to know which 3 people Joro will dance with. Joro jokes that maybe she could be one of them, and she surprisingly gets embarrassed. She keeps asking for details, but Joro notices Himawari struggling with exam stress. He sees this as a chance to talk to her. Before he can do anything, Asunaro offers to help Himawari first. Joro quickly joins in too, but the sudden attention makes Himawari panic, and she runs away. Joro follows her. On the stairs, she slips and he catches up to her. Their usual joking argument starts again, and the tension slowly breaks. Himawari admits that she has been too embarrassed to face him. Joro tells her that he just wants things to feel normal again. She apologizes, he accepts it, and she hugs him like she used to. Their friendship finally starts healing. Cosmos sees this from far away, but she is too nervous to approach him. At lunch, Joro calls Teo to the rooftop. Instead of giving a normal apology speech, Joro makes a weird challenge. He says they will settle things through final exams. If Teo gets perfect scores in every subject, their friendship ends. But if Teo fails, even one subject, then Joro wins. Teo thinks the idea is dumb and tries to leave, but Himawari stops him. Then Joro finally says what he really feels. He just wants them to go back to being friends. Himawari says the same thing. Their honesty reaches Teo, and he apologizes to both of them. Just like that, their friendship begins to recover. Feeling proud, Joro goes back to the library and tells Pansy that he made up with Teo and Himawari. Then he asks her to help him study for finals. Pansy agrees, but only if he takes her on a date. Before Joro can fully react, she reminds him that there is still one person he has not faced yet. That person is Cosmos. Later, Asunaro tries questioning Joro again about the flower festival, but Joro suddenly senses a dark pressure behind him. It is Cosmos. He runs after her and finds her sitting sadly on the stairs. She had been following him all day because she wanted to make up with him but could not find the courage. Cosmos had even practiced what to say using a mannequin. Joro tells her he wants to be friends again, but Cosmos says his words do not feel right. In her mind, she had imagined a much more dramatic reunion. Since Cosmos is Cosmos, Joro ends up playing along with the scene she created in her head. After that, she finally smiles, and things between them improve. Soon, the group gathers at the library to study for finals. At first, Joro and Pansy are supposed to help everyone, but Cosmos quickly takes control because she is the smartest one. She gives them a terrifying amount of math practice, which almost destroys Himawari's spirit. Pansy saves her by saying she will teach Himawari Japanese instead. That leaves Joro and Taiyo stuck with Cosmos and her intense study method. Joro looks at Taiyo and realizes they are both trapped. After studying, everyone walks home together. Joro watches Cosmos, Himawari, and Pansy laughing like the old drama never happened. Seeing them all getting along makes him feel happy. For a moment, his silly side wonders if his dream romantic life might still happen someday. But honestly, he is just relieved that things are finally peaceful again. Once exams finish, Joro feels like life is improving. Himawari greets him in the morning like usual, hitting his back and hugging him happily. Cosmos and Himawari are both around him again, and everything seems normal. Then Asunaro pulls him aside after school. They meet on the rooftop, and Joro starts getting the wrong idea. Since things have been going well, he wonders if Asunaro might be interested in him too. But then, he sees the same cursed bench again, and all his bad memories come rushing back. Asunaro does have something to say, but it is not a love confession. She accuses Joro of being a guy who chases girls. She says she first became suspicious during the baseball game, when she saw him staring at a beautiful girl in a very suspicious way. Then she shows him photos of him with Pansy, Himawari, and Cosmos. In the pictures, it looks like he is close to all of them. Asunaro has already written an article painting him as a shady womanizer, and she plans to release it during the flower festival. Joro tries to explain that they are only his friends. Asunaro says she will believe him for now, but only under one condition. She will follow him and watch his behavior. If he does anything suspicious, she will publish the article. From that point on, Joro becomes extremely careful, but things get worse when Cosmos talks to him about the flower dance. She says she will join because Joro is the boy dancing this year. She had rejected the event before, but this time she accepts because of him. Since the dance has a romantic legend attached to it, Asunaro misunderstands everything and writes even more suspicious notes about him. Joro realizes that Asunaro's articles could ruin him again. At lunch, he begs the girls to keep some distance from him until Asunaro calms down. None of them agree. They all want to stay close to him, and they do not care what people say. Cosmos then tells Joro that he still needs to meet the third dance partner, Kamada. Since Asunaro will probably follow him, Joro creates a plan. He asks Cosmos to act cold toward him during the meeting so Asunaro will stop thinking he is popular with girls. The plan sort of works, but Cosmos makes it weird by acting way too dramatic. Still, it confuses Asunaro enough. When they reach Kamada's classroom, Kamada hides from Joro immediately. Joro learns that there is a strange rumor going around about him having a weird shoe-related habit. Asunaro writes that down too, but the situation also makes her question her own theory. After all, if Kamada is scared of him, maybe Joro is not actually some smooth womanizer. The next day, Kamada becomes so frightened that she quits the dance. Asunaro talks to Joro and seems interested in becoming the replacement herself. But Cosmos messages him and says she has already found someone else. When Joro meets the replacement, he is shocked. It is Teo. Joro is confused because he expected the third partner to be a girl, but Cosmos says everything has already been approved. So the dance group becomes Joro, Cosmos, Himawari, and Teo. They start practicing after school. Pansy joins them too, and Asunaro watches from the side. She sees them laughing, practicing, helping each other, and acting like genuine friends. Slowly, she begins to doubt the harsh story she wrote about Joro. A week before the dance, Joro comes to school in a good mood. But then some popular girls corner him with Asunaro's paper in their hands. The article makes Joro look like a creepy womanizer, and they demand an explanation. They believe every word. Cosmos rushes in to defend Joro, but the girls accuse her of being one of his victims. Then Asunaro suddenly arrives, full of guilt. She tells everyone that the wrong version of the article was printed by accident. She promises to collect every copy and take responsibility. But it is already too late. The damage has spread. After that, Teo and Himawari stop coming to the library. Cosmos tells Joro that maybe they should stop being friends for now because she does not want to cause him more trouble. Pansy agrees with Cosmos, and the group decides they will practice the flower dance separately instead of staying together. Later, when Asunaro finds him, he looks like he is running on nothing and only wants to head home. She asks what is going on with the flower dance practice, and he tells her it is basically frozen for now. Then she quietly asks if all this trouble happened because of her. Joro tells her it is not that simple, but she still feels awful. To make up for it, she offers to practice the dance with him herself. He agrees, and they go up to the roof. Up there, the mood is strangely nice. With no audience and no drama, they just rehearse together and actually enjoy it. For a little while, things feel normal again, but neither of them realizes Cosmos is watching from far away. A week passes after the school paper disaster, and Joro keeps to himself the whole time. The popular girls from class keep hovering around him, especially Asaka, almost like they are tracking his every move. But the second Asunaro appears, they back off. After a while, Joro notices something important. During the 1 week when almost everyone else stayed away, Asunaro was the only person who kept showing up beside him. That makes him feel honestly grateful. When the flower festival starts, Joro asks her about the article she still plans to release. She tells him she is still putting it out on the second day, but the ending is different now. Before he can overthink that, Teo calls with another problem. The adults are upset because the flower dance is supposed to be 1 boy and 3 girls, but the lineup got changed when Teo joined. Complaints have reached the headmaster, so Teo has to back out and somebody else needs to take his place. Joro immediately thinks of Asunaro and asks if she wants to step in. She says yes right away, but before he can even explain the idea to Cosmos, Cosmos shows up and says she already guessed what he was about to do. She tells Asunaro to come with her to the student council room. Joro tries to follow, but Cosmos says this is between her and Asunaro. Asunaro insists that Joro should stay, so Cosmos reluctantly allows it and warns them both that this conversation will not be pleasant. The moment they get inside, Cosmos says it clearly. She does not approve of Asunaro becoming the 3rd flower. In her eyes, Asunaro should be fixing Joro's ruined image instead of standing beside him in the dance like none of this happened. Asunaro pushes back. Cosmos asks one last time if she is really okay with Joro hearing everything. Asunaro says she is. Then Asunaro tries to go on offense by asking whether Cosmos would enjoy being written about as some controlling tyrant. Cosmos barely reacts. Instead, she drops the truth. She says Asunaro already knew Joro was not the kind of guy those articles claimed he was, but she still used him anyway. While pretending she was just shadowing him for a story, she kept disappearing at lunch. Cosmos figured out why. During those missing moments, Asunaro was feeding ugly rumors to the first years and making Joro sound creepy. Those lies are what scared Kamada off and made her quit the dance. Then Cosmos brings out even stronger proof. The printing schedule for the school paper did not allow sudden last-second changes, so the excuse about a mix-up does not work. Cosmos checked the records and found out Asunaro had secretly switched her name on the journalism room duty list. That tied her directly to the article that trashed Joro's reputation. Asunaro cannot argue anymore. Cosmos then says what the real plan was. Asunaro wanted Joro cut off from everybody else. If she pushed the others away, she could become the only person left at his side. At that point, Asunaro breaks. She confesses that she has liked Joro ever since the baseball tournament, when she believed he saved her from a foul ball and looked cool doing it. The only problem is that Joro was not even trying to impress her at the time. He was distracted by Pansy, but that does not matter to Asunaro. In her mind, that moment changed everything. She admits she cannot stand the thought of Joro dancing with someone else. She wants him for herself. Cosmos tells her that love built on hurting other people is never going to work. The more damage she causes, the farther she gets from what she wants. Cosmos says she knows that because she also made mistakes before by trying to control things, and in the end, she only hurt Joro too. Her point is simple. Stop manipulating people and start being honest. So, Asunaro turns to Joro and says it directly. She loves him. Joro does not soften. He tells her flat out that he does not return those feelings at all. He is angry because her actions wasted everyone's effort. Tayo gave up baseball practice, Cosmos and Himawari had their own responsibilities, and all of them still made time to work hard for the dance. Asunaro nearly wrecked the whole thing because she wanted Joro all to herself. She is crushed. Before leaving, she apologizes to Cosmos and says she will fix what she can. Once she is gone, Cosmos lightly mocks Joro for being so brutally honest. But she also understands exactly why he did it. She knows he was being hard on Asunaro on purpose, so she would stop clinging to hope and move on faster. Then Joro asks the obvious question, what happens to the dance now? Cosmos tells him the problem is already solved. The third flower has been decided. That night, the flower dance begins. Himawari goes first, and her performance matches her personality perfectly. She is lively, cheerful, and just a little unsteady, but the crowd loves her anyway. Then Cosmos takes the stage and dances with her usual elegance, drawing huge cheers from the audience. While dancing with Joro, she quietly tells him not to worry about Asunaro. Only she and Teo know the whole story, so Asunaro will not be publicly humiliated. Then, she surprises him with a quick kiss and admits she missed him during the time they were apart. Then the final girl steps out. The crowd goes silent because nobody recognizes her at first. But once the light hits her face, everyone realizes who it is. It is Pansy, just without the usual disguise. Joro is stunned. She looks completely different, and it hits him hard. When they dance together, they move like they already know each other's rhythm. In the middle of it, Pansy asks him why he keeps putting other people first. Joro does not understand at first, so she explains. She knows he has been quietly trying to help her connect with others. He pulled her into the study group, made the library a place for everyone to gather, and kept creating chances for her to stop being alone. Joro tells her he only did that because he wanted to thank her. When his life was falling apart, she helped him hold it together and helped him fix things with his friends. This was his way of giving something back. Near the end of their dance, Pansy tells him that he is always on her mind. When the performance ends, the audience erupts. Backstage, everybody celebrates. The dance was a success, and Pansy says that now that she has real friends, she wants to spend more time with all of them. After the festival, the school gives everyone a day off. The next morning, Joro wakes up to his mother being her usual loud and cheerful self. But when he walks into the kitchen, he gets the shock of his life. Pansy is already there, sitting at the table and chatting with his mom like this happens every day. His mom invites Pansy to stay for breakfast. While they eat, a horoscope on TV says Aquarius will discover a surprising side of someone close to them. Joro ignores it because he is way more focused on one question. How did Pansy get in here? She casually explains that while following him one day, she ran into his mother. They ended up talking about a book they both liked, got along instantly, and somehow became friends. Joro gives up trying to understand it and just accepts that this is his life now. Later, the whole group goes to the pool. Joro's mood improves immediately. Everyone is there, and for once, the day actually feels fun. Himawari is bright and playful as always. Cosmos carries herself with that calm, polished confidence. Pansy looks so different from her usual school self that she stands out right away. The group spends the day swimming, playing, splashing around, and enjoying themselves. At one point, Joro goes to buy drinks and runs into a red-haired girl who seems familiar. It is Asaka, but without her usual makeup, he does not recognize her at first. She also does not recognize him. She asks him for advice and says her friend hurt a guy and does not know how to apologize. The more she talks, the more obvious it becomes that she is actually talking about herself. She asks what kind of gift would be best. Joro tells her a gift does not matter as much as being sincere. If the apology is real, that should be enough. She worries things are too broken already. But Joro says that if things are already at their worst, the only direction left is upward. Then she asks whether changing her hair would help. Joro says that, personally, he would probably like plain black hair. After that conversation, she quietly hands him a drink to thank him. Back with the group, each girl wants Joro all to herself for a bit. Himawari wants to hit the water slide, Cosmos wants the dolphin ride, and Pansy wants to relax in the warm pool. It turns into a low-key competition over who can give him the best time. Joro is tired, but he also knows he is in a pretty lucky spot. He starts with Himawari in the water slide. She grabs onto him as they shoot down together, and it is going great until he almost has a very embarrassing swimsuit malfunction. Right before disaster happens, Tayo shows up and saves him. Next comes the dolphin ride with Cosmos. Joro expects a nice moment, but a bunch of kids nearby tease them and call them a couple. Cosmos gets so flustered that her imagination runs way too far, and in her panic she accidentally leaves Joro riding alone. Before he can look too pathetic, Tayo jumps in and joins him like the loyal friend he is. Last, Joro sits with Pansy in the warm pool. This one is much calmer. Pansy thanks him for giving her a chance to enjoy a real day with real friends, something she has never really had before. Joro thanks her too, because without her, he never would have fixed things with everyone else. Then, of course, Pansy ruins the peaceful mood by casually revealing that she knows he bought a self-help book about apologizing and even went to a fortune teller for advice. Joro freaks out, and she makes it worse by saying she also found his hidden books. His pride basically dies on the spot. Thankfully, Tayo appears yet again and tells Pansy to cut him some slack. Pansy leaves, and Tayo pats Joro on the shoulder with his usual goofy smile. At that point, Joro can only respect him more. Later, the girls ask Joro the most dangerous question of the day. Which one of them gave him the best time? Joro pauses, thinks hard, and then confidently points at Tayo. The girls are left speechless, while Joro and Tayo run off laughing like idiots, because in that moment the bro bond wins. The next day at school, some of the popular girls apologize to Joro for believing the article about him. Then Asaka walks into class and sits near him. She has changed completely. Her hair is black now, and her whole look is toned down and simple. Joro is shocked by how different she looks, especially because she now matches his exact type. Then the teacher introduces a transfer student named Tsubaki. Instead of giving a normal introduction, Tsubaki walks straight over to Joro and confesses to him in front of everyone. She says that unlike other girls, she will love him no matter what. She explains that a year earlier, during the baseball tournament, Joro bought all the fried food from her stall because he wanted to cheer Tayo up after the loss. Since Tayo liked fried skewers, Joro cleaned out the whole stall for him. That helped Tsubaki sell out, and she never forgot it. Watching someone go that far for a friend inspired her and made her want to become a better person. Now, she says she wants to support Joro in any way she can. That immediately gets everyone's attention. Asaka notices. Asunaro reacts. Himawari is already thinking about warning Cosmos and Pansy. Even so, Himawari quickly gets friendly with Tsubaki. Once she hears the story, she understands why Tsubaki respects Joro so much. Tsubaki says she is ready to help him with anything, whether that means dealing with annoying people around him or helping him in everyday life. Joro, though, cannot trust this that easily. After everything he has gone through, he feels like there has to be some hidden reason behind her behavior. He does not want to get fooled again. Still, Tsubaki keeps acting helpful. She cleans the classroom with him, sticks close to him, and uses every little excuse to stay near him. Sometimes, she gets so close that Joro almost folds, but he manages to pull himself back. Then she offers him a homemade lunch. At that point, Joro decides to test her. He tells her she can ask him for anything that only he can give. But Tsubaki does not ask for a gift or a favor. Instead, she says she wants his permission to devote herself to him. And that is exactly when Joro completely caves. Later, Joro brings Tsubaki to the library so she can meet Cosmos and Pansy. He eats the lunch Tsubaki made for him like he promised, but then Cosmos also offers him some of hers. Since he does not want to make her feel bad, he accepts a little from her too. Cosmos is happy, but Pansy points out that Joro was not being brave or thoughtful. He was just trying to keep everyone from getting upset. While they are all hanging out, Cosmos notices Himawari brought her tennis racket into the library. Himawari says she has a big match coming up, so she wants to stay ready anytime. Tayo says he feels the same way about baseball and plans to win his tournament too. Then Tsubaki asks Joro what his big thing is. Joro awkwardly admits that he does not really have one. Tsubaki tells him maybe he just has not found it yet. After everyone leaves, Pansy stops Joro. He thinks she is about to complain about Tsubaki, but instead she talks about Cosmos's lunch. She says Joro did not accept both lunches because he was kind. He did it because he hates dealing with uncomfortable situations. Joro does not really understand what she means, so Pansy gives him her favorite book and tells him to read it and tell her what he thinks later. That same day, Joro goes shopping for something he buys every year. Out of nowhere, Himawari jumps on him like she always does, and he falls hard. His bag opens, and everything spills out. Himawari guesses he is shopping for her birthday, but Joro denies it. Later, he realizes something important is missing: Pansy's book. He rushes around trying to find it. At the station, two girls from another school notice him panicking and help him search. They eventually find the book, but it is badly damaged. One of the girls tells him it is rare and expensive, then gives him the name of a shop that might still carry it. After that, Joro becomes desperate for money. The next day at lunch, he is staring at job ads instead of talking to anyone. Everyone notices. He only says he needs cash, but he does not explain why. Then Tsubaki tells him her family's skewer shop needs help because they are opening a new branch. Since the pay is good, Joro immediately agrees. Later, he finally shows Pansy the ruined book and apologizes. He says he will replace it. Pansy says not to worry about it, but when he asks if there is anything he can do, she tells him not to take the job. To her, working for Tsubaki means he will spend even less time with her. Joro still says he wants to replace the book because he wants to finish reading it. That answer quietly makes Pansy happy. So Joro starts working at Tsubaki's family shop. After a week, he gets used to the work and even earns praise from the older staff. But instead of feeling accomplished, he just compares himself to everyone else. Teo has baseball, Himawari has tennis, Cosmos leads the student council, Tsubaki helps run a business. Joro starts feeling plain and unimportant. One morning, he is reading Pansy's book when Himawari shows up and smacks him on the back like usual. He asks if she should not be practicing, but she claims she has the day off. He can tell she is lying. Then she notices the book. Joro tries to hide how much it matters, and when she asks why he does not just buy a new copy, he changes the subject fast by bringing up her birthday. At lunch, the group meets in the library again, but the vibe is awkward. Because Joro is busy with work, Pansy is clearly annoyed that she barely gets time with him now. Without Himawari around to lighten the mood, the room feels stiff and quiet. Tsubaki tries to calm things down and says Joro will cut back later, but Pansy still stays distant. Later at the restaurant, Asuka comes by. She quickly claims she is not there for Joro, but she is so nervous she barely says anything. Before leaving, she quietly hints that she may return. Trying to prove he can handle things, Joro takes on too much at once. A drink ends up spilled on a customer, and the guy gets angry and insults him. Tsubaki steps in, apologizes, and handles the problem. After seeing how shaken he is, she tells him to head home early. That night, Pansy is waiting for him. She says she wants to talk to the real Joro. He is already tired and upset, so he snaps at her. Pansy listens and then tells him the real issue is not the job. She says he did not start working because of the book. He started because he feels small compared to everyone else. She says he keeps measuring himself against Teo, Himawari, Cosmos, and Tsubaki, and because of that, he wants something that proves he matters too. The book became an excuse to hide those feelings. Joro gets angry because deep down he knows she is right. He admits he has never had anything that made him feel proud. Pansy tells him that being kind is already enough and says she likes him as he is. But that only frustrates him more, and he tells her to leave. The second she walks away, he regrets it. The next day, Himawari comes back and the atmosphere instantly feels warmer. She brings up the book again, and Joro brushes it off. Then Taiyo gives one of his baseball-style speeches, basically saying that if something matters, you should stop worrying so much about your pride and just protect it. Joro does not fully follow the sports wording, but he gets the meaning. Tsubaki later notices how down he looks and sends him home early again. On the way back, Joro stops at a playground and meets a boy named Hazuki. Joro admits he fought with someone important and cannot apologize because his pride keeps getting in the way. Hazuki gives him simple advice: if you care about someone, stop thinking about how much you might get hurt and think about how much they could get hurt instead. That finally helps Joro understand what he needs to do. The next day, he gives Pansy a real apology. This time he is honest. He admits she was right, and that replacing the book had become more about his own ego than her feelings. He promises to buy the book back for her, not for himself. Pansy smiles and tells him to do his best. Now Joro works with the right mindset. He gives the job his full effort and earns his first paycheck. Proud of that, he goes to buy the replacement book, only to learn the last copy is already gone. Just when he feels crushed again, Himawari messages him saying she has something important. When they meet, Himawari is already waiting with the book in her hands. She bought it for him. Joro gets upset because he knows it was expensive, and he knows she had been saving money for a new racket. He tells her she should have spent that money on herself instead, but Himawari only wanted to help her childhood friend. They finally speak honestly. Joro realizes he was too harsh, and they make up. The next day, Himawari goes into her tennis tournament with a new racket that Joro bought for her. Before her match, she asks if he likes anyone. He says no. Then she says she does like someone, kisses him on the cheek in front of everyone, and heads off to play. She ends up winning. Later, everyone celebrates at Tsubaki's place. During the meal, Pansy asks Joro if he finished the book. That reminds him of the message hidden in it asking whether he would help her if she was ever in trouble. Joro finally gives her the answer she wanted and says yes. That clearly makes her happy. After that, Tsubaki tells Joro something important. She says he is wrong for thinking he is just some side character. In her eyes, he is the one holding everyone together. He is the reason the group keeps connecting, and that makes him just as important as anyone else. Joro finally starts believing that too, but the peace does not last long. One day, someone suddenly pulls him into the science room. It is Kamada, though she now calls herself Tanpopo and introduces herself as the baseball team manager. She makes him sit down, and Joro immediately notices the cursed bench set up again. He expects another confession. Instead, he gets a terrible request. Tanpopo wants him to help set up Tayo and Pansy. She explains that during last year's baseball tournament, she was moved by the team's spirit even after they lost, and that inspired her to become the team manager. Later, she saw Tayo and Pansy near the south gate and decided they would make the perfect couple. She has no clue that Pansy does not feel that way about Tayo. Since Joro knows both of them well, she wants him to help make it happen. Part of her reason is romantic, but part of it is selfish too. If she can create that perfect couple, she thinks it will make her even more popular. Then she tries to win Joro over with a flirty bribe, and because he is weak to that kind of thing, he agrees. Then Asunaro suddenly appears out of nowhere and says she climbed in through the window after seeing Joro get dragged off. After hearing the plan, she wants to join in too. If this works, she can write an article that makes Tanpopo even more famous. Tanpopo likes that idea because it boosts her image, while Asunaro likes it because if Pansy ends up with Tayo, maybe she still has a chance with Joro. At lunch, while everyone eats food from Tsubaki's shop, Joro keeps looking at Tayo and wondering whether he still likes Pansy. At the same time, Cosmo seems distracted and off. Joro notices, but before he can ask what is wrong, Asunaro shows up and startles her. There is still tension between those two, but Asunaro says they need to ignore that for now. Then she pulls Joro aside, says the thing he asked her to handle is finished, and clings to his arm while whispering that she still has not given up on him. After school, Tanpopo messages Joro with the next step. Right then, Asaka tries to ask him out, but she gets too flustered and runs away before she can say anything clearly. Later, Joro meets Tanpopo and Asunaro. Tanpopo's big plan is to make Tayo jealous by having Joro hug Pansy. She even gives him instructions through a walkie-talkie like they are in some weird low-budget spy mission. Joro is already tired of the whole thing, but he still walks toward Pansy. The problem is, he looks suspicious right away. Pansy immediately calls him out for looking shady. Joro tries to act normal, but she notices the earbuds and becomes even more suspicious. Before she can question him more, Cosmos, Himawari, and Tsubaki show up talking about their plans. Then the whole thing crashes in the dumbest way possible. Some nearby boys start talking about Tanpopo and say her name wrong. That hurts her pride so badly that the plan falls apart on the spot. Joro calms her down by hyping her up a little. Then he promises he will help with another plan instead. Now the new idea is somehow even worse. Joro is supposed to fake confess to Pansy to make Tayo jealous. At lunch in the garden, Tanpopo's plan is ready to go, and Joro is supposed to fake confess to Pansy. But right before it starts, he asks what happens if Pansy actually says yes. Tanpopo laughs it off and says that would never happen. That answer makes Joro stop playing along. He drops the whole act and calls Tanpopo out. He tells her straight up that he was never really going to confess, and never planned to help her for real. Tanpopo gets mad, but Joro points out that her story has never made sense. He reminds her that during last year's baseball tournament, their school's supporters were gathered near first base, not third. That means her claim about watching from third base was fake from the start. Tanpopo tries to change the story, and says maybe she was not cheering for them back then. But she does want to support Tayo now. Then Asunaro steps in and adds more proof. She reveals Tanpopo did not even come to this school by choice. She only ended up here after failing to get into another one. Joro then points out the real truth. This whole thing was never really about Tayo. It was about Pansy. Right then, Pansy shows up. Joro asks if she used to go around without hiding her looks, and she says yes. After that, Tanpopo admits she did not even realize who Pansy was at first. Even so, she still insists that Pansy and Tayo belong together. Pansy shuts that idea down immediately. She says the person she loves is Joro. Tanpopo is stunned. Joro asks why she did all of this, but she just runs away. Pansy tells him not to hate her for it. In Pansy's eyes, Tanpopo thought she was helping. Because people used to push romance onto Pansy because of her looks, Tanpopo assumed pairing her with Tayo was the right move. She just never understood what Pansy actually wanted. Afterward, Pansy thanks Joro and starts teasing him again, but Asunaro quickly pulls him away and acts like he belongs to her. Then Pansy reveals she quietly stole the bunny photo Tanpopo gave him and swapped it with a picture of herself. Joro does not complain. Meanwhile, Cosmos is dealing with a completely different crisis. The school wants to shut down the library. The next morning, Joro is distracted by Pansy's photo when Pansy suddenly appears and starts acting flirty. But Joro notices the earbuds and instantly realizes this is another Tanpopo setup. He baits her out, and sure enough, Tanpopo appears. Joro gets mad, and she runs off again. Then Cosmos arrives with bad news. The library can only be saved if way more students start using it. Everyone else quickly offers help. Himawari says she can bring the tennis team. Tayo says he can bring baseball players. Tsubaki offers customers from her family shop. When they all look at Joro, he realizes he has no one to bring, so he gets sent off to think of something useful. On the way, he runs into Hazuki. After hearing about the library problem, Hazuki agrees to help. The next day, Joro brings him in, along with Cherry and Tsukimi. Joro recognizes them as the same girls who helped him find Pansy's lost book before. The second they enter the library, the vibe gets weird. Pansy knows them. Hazuki knows Pansy. Cherry and Tsukimi clearly do too. Nobody explains anything right away, but it is obvious there is old history between them. Hazuki quickly charms everybody. He is friendly, smooth, and easy to like. Joro also notices that Hazuki clearly has feelings for Pansy, but even with Hazuki there, Pansy stays close to Joro instead. Cosmos asks Hazuki directly how he knows Pansy, and he explains they all used to go to school together. Then Cherry and Tsukimi try to set up a private moment for Hazuki and Pansy, but Hazuki unexpectedly invites Joro along instead. Later, Tsukimi asks Joro if he likes Pansy. Caught off guard, he says no. That answer ends up mattering more than he realizes. At the end of the day, Cherry and Tsukimi finally reveal what they want. Both of them like Hazuki, but they are willing to give up on him and help him get Pansy instead. Then they ask Joro and the others to support that plan too. Joro does not like it. It sounds wrong. Himawari asks the big question, what about Pansy's feelings? Tsukimi says that part is already settled, and reminds Joro that he said he does not like Pansy. In their minds, that means Hazuki is free to go after her. Still, Joro refuses. Cosmos and Himawari back him up and say Pansy's feelings matter more than Hazuki's love story. After that, Joro goes straight to Pansy and asks her the truth about Hazuki. Pansy finally opens up. She says Hazuki is a good person, but he has one major flaw. He helps people in a way that often hurts someone else without him even noticing. Because he is kind and charming, things usually go his way, but someone in the background ends up suffering. Cherry and Tsukimi are the perfect example. They are helping him chase Pansy while quietly hurting themselves. That is exactly the kind of situation Pansy does not want. So Joro asks the only question that matters, does she want to be with Hazuki? She says no. That settles it for him. He tells her he will do something, and Pansy says she will too. A week later, the library is busy again and clearly doing much better. But even then, Joro notices Pansy still looks uncomfortable whenever Hazuki and the girls push closer. Tayo notices it too and casually gives Pansy an excuse to step away. Still unsure what to do next, Joro turns to Tanpopo again. This time, he learns something important. Tanpopo used to like Hazuki herself. She even copied Pansy's style to get his attention, but none of it worked. Eventually, she tried to solve the whole problem by getting Pansy a boyfriend so Hazuki would stop focusing on her. And now Tanpopo thinks Joro should just become that boyfriend. Later, while everyone is cleaning the library, Joro asks Hazuki how he would react if Pansy started dating someone. Hazuki says he would be sad, but he would still wish her well. Hearing that, Joro turns toward Pansy, ready to say something important. But Pansy speaks first. She announces that she and Tayo made a deal. If Tayo wins the baseball tournament, they will start dating. The whole room freezes. Hazuki is shocked. Joro is too. Hazuki still manages to congratulate her. Then Pansy turns to Joro and coldly tells him to stay away from the library for a while. She says she is tired of loving someone who does not even notice her and calls him useless. Cosmos and Himawari try to defend him, but Pansy cuts them off. Later, Joro meets Taiyo and asks what is going on. Taiyo finally admits the deal is real. He says that while he is taking on this role, Joro has to do his own part too. Tsubaki secretly overhears all of it. Then, summer begins. Joro spends his days working at Tsubaki's restaurant and staying away from the library like Pansy told him. The others visit him now and then, and Cosmos eventually tells him the library is safe now. Even so, Joro keeps acting like everything is over. Himawari hints that Pansy probably misses him, but he refuses to believe it. Then Tsubaki finally says what he needs to hear. She tells him Hazuki will not stop just because Pansy is dating Taiyo. Then she reminds him that Pansy never said stay away forever. She only said for a while. That is when it finally clicks. Joro realizes Pansy and Taiyo were not throwing him away. They were protecting him and buying him time. Once he understands that, his whole attitude changes. He decides he is going to help Pansy no matter what. Later, Mayama gives him one more push. She tells him to stop overthinking and just be himself. That brings back the real Joro, the bold and sharp version of him. The next day, Joro meets Taiyo and apologizes. He says he will not be there to cheer for Taiyo in the finals because he has something more important to do. Taiyo immediately understands. Using baseball talk, the two of them silently agree that now is the time to go all in. Then comes the showdown in the library. Everyone is there. Pansy is there. Hazuki is there. Cherry and Tsukumi are there too. Hazuki finally says what he has been holding back and confesses to Pansy in front of everyone. The room explodes into arguments. Some people support him, some step in for Pansy. Right in the middle of that chaos, Joro walks in. Pansy reminds him she told him to stay away, and Joro calmly answers that he did exactly that. He stayed away for a while. Then he takes over the room. He challenges Hazuki directly. If Hazuki is serious about Pansy, then they will settle it properly. The loser will never approach her again. Hazuki hesitates, but Joro keeps pushing until he agrees. Then Joro lays out the rules. 6 girls will vote on who is a better match for Pansy. If the vote ties, the baseball final becomes the tiebreaker. If Joro's school wins, the point goes to him. If Hazuki's school wins, the point goes to Hazuki. Cherry and Tsukumi complain right away because most of the girls involved are Joro's friends, which gives him the clear advantage. Joro does not even deny it. Then the whole thing flips on him. Cosmos steps up and says that if Joro gets to use his connections, then she can use hers too. Then Cosmos, Himawari, and Asunaro all say they are voting for Hazuki. Joro is left speechless. And then they make things even crazier by openly admitting they all love Joro. So if helping Hazuki win, Pansy gives them a better shot with Joro later, they are willing to do it. Just like that, Joro's easy plan turns into a real fight. Then the story shifts to Taiyo. That night, while everyone else is asleep, Taiyo lies awake thinking about the past. He knows he is not the star of the story, but he still wants someone to truly see him. Back when he was younger, he was already great at baseball. His coach praised him constantly, but instead of making him popular, it made the rest of the team jealous. Taiyo was too shy to connect with them, so he ended up alone. The only person who seemed kind was the catcher, Shiba. Shiba liked the same pro player and acted like a real friend. Then one day, Taiyo's favorite keychain went missing. Shiba even offered to help him search for it. But later, Taiyo overheard the truth. Shiba had stolen it out of jealousy. Taiyo felt angry, but more than that, he felt scared. He did not want to be alone again. So, instead of fighting back, he swallowed everything and forced himself to smile. That is when his fake cheerful mask first began. After everything that happened, Joro falls asleep and dreams about the first time he met Pansy. It was the day of the baseball loss, when he was rushing around buying a bunch of fried food to cheer Taiyo up. Back then, Pansy showed up using her real appearance, not the hidden one she uses now. Joro was completely stunned by how pretty she was. She asked if they could talk for a bit, and he clearly wanted to stay. But Taiyo came first in his mind, so he turned her down. Pansy understood and said they would meet again anyway. Before he could even ask her name, she told him she would find him herself. Then Joro wakes up. It is the day of the baseball final, and that means it is also the day his battle with Hazuki will be decided. Joro had originally thought this would be easy. He believed most of the girls would side with him. But then, everything got messy after several girls confessed their feelings, and now the whole contest has turned into a disaster. To make things worse, the girls added their own rules to the challenge. Cherry says each hair clip can only belong to one girl. Tsukimi says once a girl gives her clip, she cannot take it back. Himawari says the challenge ends today no matter what. Asunaro says every clip has to be given in front of both Joro and Hazuki. Cosmos says once a point is given, it stays that way. Then Pansy adds one more rule. The loser has to be punished. Hazuki accepts all of it with that confident smile of his, while Joro looks like his soul already left his body. That morning, Himawari calls Joro and says they should go to the stadium together. While she is still on the call, the girls start talking about their own plans for him like he cannot hear a single word. Joro hears everything, pretends to be cheerful, and agrees anyway. Once he reaches the stadium, he immediately hides behind a food stall because he wants to avoid getting trapped by the girls and their hair clips. But the stall owner ends up putting him to work selling food with the owner's little sister, so Joro cannot even stay hidden properly. At the same time, Taiyo arrives for the final and thinks back to when he first became friends with Joro. Back then, Joro had asked what club he joined, and Taiyo proudly said baseball. Right after that, Himawari smacked Joro on the back like always, but Taiyo caught a glimpse of Joro's real expression before he switched back to his fake awkward smile. In that moment, Taiyo realized they were kind of alike. Both of them were hiding parts of themselves. That is why Taiyo asked Joro to be his friend in the first place. Now, at the final, lots of people are cheering for Taiyo, but none of those voices are the ones he really wants to hear. He is looking for Joro and the others. Joro eventually shows up just long enough to hand him some water, then quickly disappears again. Back on Joro's side, once he finishes helping at the stall, he goes looking for Pansy. When he finds her, he quietly asks if she will give him her hair clip. Instead of answering, she asks what he honestly thinks of her. Joro freezes. He cannot say what he really feels, and all that comes out is an apology. Pansy gives him a sad smile and tells him he is already too late. Right after that, Hazuki appears, which annoys Joro even more. Joro quickly hides and watches Hazuki ask Pansy for her clip too. Since time is running out, Joro leaves and tries to get support from the other girls. While wandering around, he bumps into a little girl who cannot find her sister. He is frustrated because he thinks this is another delay, but he still helps her. Cherry sees this happen. Joro tries to use the moment to convince her to change sides, saying Pansy would not be happy with Hazuki. Cherry still refuses to support him the way he wants, but instead of calmly ending it, Joro panics and grabs at her to stop her from calling Hazuki over. Cherry slaps him so hard he falls into a trash can. While she makes him clean up, he escapes again. From far away, Joro hears the crowd erupt and realizes Taiyo must have scored. He wants to go watch, but before he can decide, he hears someone talking to him. It is Hazuki. Hazuki asks whether he got Pansy's clip. Joro tells him to mind his own business, but Hazuki calmly says it does not matter anyway because he already has 3 clips: Cosmos, Himawari, and Asunaro. Joro's heart sinks right there. Then Hazuki tries to call the others, but his signal fails, which gives Joro a chance to run again. Right after that, Cosmos calls Joro and pretends there is some emergency in her fake samurai voice. Joro knows she is lying, so he lies back and says he will meet her somewhere, even though he has no intention of showing up. Before he can get away, another random girl appears and says she lost her house key. Joro is forced to help her too, but luckily Mayama and her group show up and take over. On the field, Taiyo keeps pushing forward. One of his teammates, Shiba, messes up and walks away upset. When Taiyo tries to encourage him, Shiba brushes him off because of their bad history. Back with Joro, the girl finds her key thanks to Mayama. Joro thanks her, and Mayama, being herself, asks for a reward. Joro agrees. Then he thinks maybe Tsukimi will change her mind after seeing him help out, but she rejects him immediately. She says she is staying on Hazuki's side. Before Joro can react, Himawari and Asunaro grab both his arms and hold him in place while Hazuki walks up. The final voting moment is about to start, but then Hazuki says he wants to change the punishment. Before, the loser was only supposed to stay away from Pansy. Now, Hazuki says the loser should stay away from all the girls. That is when his fake nice guy side drops. He openly admits he wants to erase Joro from their lives completely. Joro does not back down. He accepts the new condition and says Hazuki is underestimating how strong his bond with the others really is. Meanwhile, Taiyo starts thinking about the year he spent with Joro. He remembers that because of Joro, he learned how to enjoy baseball again. He also remembers overhearing Shiba insulting him in the past. But then Joro had stepped in and defended him in front of everyone. In that moment, Taiyo finally understood the difference between them. Taiyo wore a mask to protect himself. Joro wore his mask to protect other people. Back near the stadium, Hazuki steps away for a moment, and Joro asks Pansy to save her clip for last. Then it is time for Cherry and Tsukimi to decide. But before they can, Cosmos and Himawari stop them and call them out. Cosmos says they need to stop blaming Pansy for the pain they feel over Hazuki. Himawari adds that they are only hurting because they were not honest with themselves. Asunaro joins in too and says that being honest, even if it hurts, is better than hiding forever. That breaks Cherry and Tsukimi. They finally admit the truth. They really were blaming Pansy unfairly because they were in pain. After letting all that out, they confess their own feelings honestly, whether Hazuki likes it or not. Hazuki rejects both of them anyway. Even so, both girls look relieved. In the end, Cherry gives her hair clip to Joro, while Tsukimi gives hers to Hazuki. That leaves Hazuki ahead. Then Tsubaki steps forward and gives her clip to Joro too. Joro reveals that this was part of his plan all along. He had already started gathering support from girls outside the original group, including Mayama's side, so his points suddenly rise. For a moment, he thinks he has turned the whole thing around, but Hazuki was hiding a move too. He brings in a huge group of girls from his own school, all supporting him. Suddenly, his total shoots up so high that Joro looks completely finished. Hazuki then reminds everyone about the rule change. If Joro loses, he will lose every girl, not just Pansy. The girls immediately want to take back their votes, but the rules do not allow it. Asunaro accuses Hazuki of cheating. Hazuki says there is one way to fix everything. They all need to agree to cut ties with Pansy. Of course, no one agrees to that. They all still want to stay her friend. Then Hazuki turns to Pansy and asks for the final deciding vote. But right before that, Joro stops him and says, the game is not over yet. At that exact moment, Teo arrives with Tanpopo and a huge group of girls from their school who had been cheering at the baseball game. Hazuki is stunned. Joro finally reveals what he was really doing while selling food all day. He was not just helping out, he was quietly collecting support and hair clips. The water bottle he gave Taiyo earlier was actually his way of passing along the plan. Thanks to that, Taiyo helped gather the final votes Joro needed. Now, the score is tied. Everything comes down to the baseball result. Earlier in the match, Tanpopo gave Teo a hat and told him it was from his biggest fan. But the truth is, the support behind it really came from Joro. That final push gave Teo exactly what he needed. He goes all out, and his team wins the game, sending them to nationals. That gives Joro the final point he needs. Hazuki is defeated. Then, only Pansy's vote remains. Hazuki desperately begs her to choose him and tries to get Cherry and Tsukimi to pressure her too. But Joro does the opposite. He does not force her at all. He leaves the decision completely to Pansy. Then Pansy steps forward, lets her hair down, removes her glasses, and shows everyone her real self. Hazuki gets one brief moment of hope when she faces him. Then she gives her hair clip to Joro. That ends everything. Pansy then enforces the final punishment herself. She tells Hazuki never to speak to her or to any of her friends again. Hazuki is completely crushed, and Cherry and Tsukimi drag him away. Now, only Joro and the girls are left. Cosmos suddenly says that since Joro won, it is time for him to choose a girlfriend. Mayama panics and accidentally blurts out her feelings before quickly switching back into denial mode. But Joro, being Joro, takes things in the dumbest direction possible. He says he chooses Pansy, then Cosmos, then Himawari, then Asunaro. Pansy stares at him and asks what he is talking about. With that smug face of his, Joro says he wants one girlfriend for each day of the week. Then he notices Friday is still open and even asks Mayama to fill that slot. Mayama explodes in anger. Joro gets knocked down, and the girls all walk away from him. Later, like always, Joro buys all the fried food from Tsubaki to celebrate with Teo. He tells her the truth too. He says he refused to choose just one girl because he did not want them to stop being friends with each other. Tsubaki understands exactly what he means. Then Joro drags Taiyo off to celebrate. Taiyo gets emotional. They spend the rest of the day eating their favorite food and enjoying the win together. Taiyo thinks back on everything. At the beginning of the year, some girls liked him. But over time, everyone started focusing on Joro instead. Even so, Joro never once stopped treating him like his best friend. While the two of them are laughing together, the girls watch them from a distance. In the end, nobody really wins everything. And nobody really loses everything, either. But somehow, everyone still ends up smiling. Later, while heading home, Joro runs into Pansy in her real form again. she thanks him for keeping the promise he made long ago, the promise to help her make friends. Joro tells her he will treat her to dinner, and she accepts. Then the two of them walk off together under the moonlight, finally as a real couple. And that's where this video ends. Watch this following video until a new one.